Awesome. Looks like I got enough time on here. At least, actually, a little bit more than enough. Okay, fellow TIs and fellow truth speakers and fellow whistleblowers. Wanted to make a little vid here. I will leave a link in the description to my BitChute account. There's going to be a video on there that you definitely going to want to check out. It's a video by Waxworse. That's the name of his YouTube channel. It's gonna explain a lot of the things that's going on. And I don't think these gangs talk. I've actually been talked about this. I've been discussed about this, about like how they were having these hidden bunkers and stuff, how they were building these underground channels. Let me tell you something, everybody. And this is the 100% the truth. They're building underground bunkers. They're effing around with nuclear weapons. And now you look way back and you see the message of Bill Gates, the same mofo who's trying to push for vaccinations on everybody. Everybody, right? What do you think this is leading to? Again, think, really process that in your head. Vaccinations for everybody, which is control, by the way, underground bunkers, and nuclear weapons. Let me tell you something. That whole underground bunker thing that they got going on, that's insurance. All right, that's insurance. If things don't go their way, you want to know what's going to happen? I guarantee you, and I'm not trying to strike fear here, but I have it within my. I honestly believe that that's going to be the case. They are gonna nuke as much as they can, and after that, they're going to be in their damn bunkers when they do it. However, if they do a stunt like that, here's the end game with this. That's going to trigger too many disasters at once, and the problem is that I'm already looking at like several things. Man, it's either the vaccinations that's going to be the end. It's either that. It's either going to be the World War III. We already are in World War III, man. If anything, World War IV is going to happen next, because first off, World War III is citizen against citizen, who's on this BS. Us TIs who are being targeted, we're already in World War III, man. And this is something that's been happening around the world. We're being targeted by these covert companies hired by these secret agencies and stuff. And it's because of that, like, we have been dealing with this for all our lives. My heart goes out to so many others who are dealing with the same thing. We had it our way. This would have never ever happened in the first place, to not just us, but to anybody else out there. It would not even be around. It wouldn't be happening, and everybody would just be able to move on with their lives in peace. You know. And there's a reason why I went over a little bit of the history that I did on this channel, and it was because I suspect that in the past, and it's just as I had predicted, long time ago, a long time ago, a similar event like this, all this BS is happening, all this corruption coming out, right? A similar event happened, they did something to where they got rid of the people who were telling the truth, and they immediately screwed over history. They hid the truth from everyone, and they just literally changed it as if it didn't happen. But people started digging and they started finding stuff that they thought they long since hidden away, and eventually the truth started coming out. Basically, what I'm getting at here is that they've done this reset shit before. They've done it before, and they're planning on doing it again. They got nukes. They got that stupid RFID shit. They got that, the vaccination stuff, and it's crazy. It really is. But something, as a fellow TI, when I look at this, these gang stalkers say some of the most outrageous things. They do some of the most humiliating things to themselves, really. Because when you talk about a certain subject, here's the deal. It's not to me, like, when, like, especially with the booty bandits and the nasty crap that they talk about. It's not an insult to me just because you're trying, like, if they're trying to call me that, because first off, when you go out of your way to demonstrate and act like that, well, that's you demonstrating yourself out in public like that. That's not me doing it, that's you. When you talk about a certain subject, that's a certain subject you have on your mind. You can say whatever you want about somebody else, but you can't change the fact that that those words are coming out of your mouth and they're processing in your brain. You can't change that fact. And so I started to wonder, it seems like it's not so much as me afraid of them, it's that they're afraid of me. They're afraid of all TIs. So I'm just curious, what in the heck is it that they are so afraid of that they got to target you at birth? Like, what is it really? I could never figure out. I'm like, why are you so, like, why are they so desperate to get me afraid of them? Like, I'm not afraid of you. And I know better because I know that fear is the one thing that gives them control, and they will not have that. It's just not gonna happen. I'm not afraid of death, definitely, because first off, it's inevitable. You can't be afraid of that. That's inevitable. You're gonna either die from age, you're gonna either die from famine, you're gonna either die from just about any. There's so many things out there, man. There's so many things in counting. So people, please understand, fear is the only thing you have to fear is fear itself, okay? Because you don't want that fear controlling you. Instead, be brave, stand up, be strong, because you are damn well stronger than you know. But they don't want you to know that. I went to the store earlier today, and I had played that video that Vulcan had on his channel that he left the link to recently. And I just let it play because I was curious. I was curious because apparently a lot of those people, like they from what Q was talking about, like a lot of the people they hire aren't even aware of the truth. And here's the bottom line to this, man. Look, they try to convince people of their BS just so they would help them out. But these people who are helping them out, they don't understand that remote neural manipulation exists. And that's the biggest problem there, because first off, like they could be saying, well, this guy's bad news. So they're going to have the guy off to the side where they can't see him, who's using that machine to try to manipulate the person to doing something they got no business doing, who is the victim, by the way, the TI victim, target individual, to do something. And then they're going to demonstrate, well, you see what this person's doing? This is why we're doing this. Bullshit. You're making that person do that, and you're using your actions of what you're doing to literally manipulate that person into doing something to get other people on board with your shit. In the end, the real enemy is the one advertising the crime being done to the people, because these are the same assholes who are doing the controlling. So I guarantee you there have been covert assholes going off to the side telling people, oh, this guy's bad news and stuff like that, man. It's because they want to get rid of you. Fellow TIs, from a heart-to-heart perspective here, they want to get rid of us so badly because we all have the ability to wake people up. We all have the ability to wake people up. We have the strength to make a change in this world. And it's why they've been tearing us down for years to prevent that change, because they are afraid of us. They are afraid of the truth. They're afraid of the lies getting out. But it's, as I stated before, and I'll say it again, the greatest enemy are the people they hire. That's their greatest enemy. It's not us, but the people they hire, because the people they hire know their identity. The people they hire knows where they're at. The people they hire knows where they're coming from, what they're using, know how to describe what they're using, where they're getting it from, where it's going to, because they've worked with them. They've been in their locations of meetings. They've been around stuff like this. How do they not know that they don't have a double agent in there? And I guarantee you there probably is a double agent in there. There's bound to be one or two or three. If information is spreading out, they can't be as, as strong as they claim to be, If they got data, coming out, if they got people defecting, there's no way they can be that strong. And you got to understand, this is all getting real close to the actual assholes who are pulling these strings. You see, I'm telling you, this is what I believe. I believe that at this moment right now, they're doing whatever they can. They're pushing for as much stuff as they possibly can and making it as devastating as possible to try to put people in a state of stability thinking, oh, well, nothing can be done. Bullshit. Bullshit. There's already too much has happened and it's already gotten out of their control. If they didn't feel threatened, why do they got YouTube as lapdog censoring the evidence? Why is that? If they didn't feel threatened and us target individuals are supposed to be schizophrenic, why do they give a damn about our channels? Why do they censor our content? Why do they hack our devices? Because they're afraid. They don't want you spouting out the truth. They don't want you bringing awareness to the truth. Even now, as I sit here, I'm not even depressed. Not mad. As far as happiness goes, I mean, I try to have fun every now and then. I mean, you got to keep joy in your life. Don't ever let them take the joy out of your life. Don't let them do that. Because if you let that happen, then your sanity starts tanking down, and you don't want that to happen. But one thing I am damn glad about is that and I'm not upset about it, but it's like it's kind of a bummer, but at the same time, like looking at the situation, I'm just damn glad that I did not settle down and have any kids in this time of my life, because I would have to literally sit down and have a talk about either to my son or my daughter, if I had any, and my woman, of this corruption and what they would have to deal with. I don't think I have it in me to do something like that, Like it would just be so damn unfair. And I can only imagine what TIs who do have families like that are going through. I honestly feel for you, because I could honestly see how troublesome and how really how difficult it is to explain just how corrupt and evil these organizations that do these perpetuous acts are out there, Truth seekers who don't who know about the truth. You've most likely seen our videos. If you want to see the full in-depth stuff that they do, look at Nappy Headed Roots' channel. You can just type that in. Look at Nappy Headed Roots' channel. He's a TI as well, and he catches a lot of obvious things that they do. And look, man, if a person wasn't being stalked and harassed on the daily basis, you would. The guy has like tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of evident videos of what they are doing. Tons. There's no way that guy is not being harassed and stalked with that much evidence shown. There's no way, man. There's absolutely no way. And it's crazy because, like, this is supposed to be the land of the free, but, like, they harass you so bad into a state of homelessness, into either a car or out on the street or in a tent or anything, man. And the thing is, like, you know something, I've already stated my side of things. Like, I'm actually going to build my own damn home. Because let me tell you something, man. The way this is going, the cities are not going to be safe, not even the suburbs. I'm telling everybody that right now. Get prepared while you can. Seriously, no joke. Because if you're not aware, and I've actually stated this before, but I guess I don't know if I uploaded the video or not. And if you've seen the video that I uploaded on about what they were doing to like the prisoners in the cells, here's my philosophy on that. I don't doubt that they're not cooking and killing some people with the 5G in there. I don't doubt that at all. I think they're doing that to like the small offenders in there. But like the most vile ones that are in there, I believe they are covertly letting them out. They would probably like try to say, well, like this person is dead, give them a death certificate, but they're not dead, they're just letting them out. So we got to deal with these people out on the streets, you know? Man, it's crazy, you know? It really is crazy, a big crazy situation. But one thing I learned though, if you all seen I think I mentioned this before, but that obvious vid, and I'm gonna mention it again just for reference. But that video that I did when I went over to the grocery store, leaving from here, again, I'm pointing that out because that's the obvious as much as you can see. I don't even have to post another video that this is still happening, because the fact that you could see something like that going on, that's my statement that that is still going on even today. Every time I go out, every time I do anything, it's the same subjugated thing that I got to deal with, you know? And the most obvious thing is that like these people come out of nowhere, man. They come out of nowhere. But the reason why I brought that up is because if you notice, because and again, other TIs have mentioned this before, and I'm gonna use this as an example. They would put an item that you would be looking for or that you need, and they'll have it high up on the shelf, way in the back. You see, and I did mention this before, but I'm gonna mention it again. I said that was a sign from the Most High, because it wasn't because of the act of what they did. It was the fact that there was a convenience nearby for me to get it. So I didn't have to struggle for it. Meaning they were used in order to provide me for something that they wanted to try to mess with me with. But in reality, it actually worked into my favor because I was able to get a hold of it, which silently pissed them off, by the way. As far as everything else is concerned I was already actually planning on getting out of the city, but as far as I can tell anybody, man, Baton Rouge is not the safest place. I don't care whether it's the city, I don't care whether it's the suburbs. It's not relatively safe, okay? Especially from the older area where I used to be at. Now, if I was there, I don't even know what would have happened, but like stuff was so bad down there that I ended up, the minute they went too damn far, I was like, yeah, I need to get the hell out of here. I told my family what's going on. I left. Then eventually some weird shit started happening, as I mentioned before, with a family member. And you see, that's the problem right there. I want to warn my family about this stuff. Well, I guess since they did the lockdown, I guess I don't have really much to really lose on warning them. But at the same time, I kind of did, though. I actually did, because I called, I'm not going to mention who, but I called a family member of mine and I told her about the channel. Now, I'm pretty certain she got a voicemail about that. So I'll just leave it with that. They can check that out. If they don't, well, I did my part. I tried, you know? I tried. On another note, one thing everybody needs to understand, no matter how you look at it, the tribulation period is coming. No matter how you look at it, we got the coming of that large asteroid Nibiru. There's that. There's that large volcano and I think it was Yellowstone Park. You got that. You got these the weapons that the HARP is doing. All these forced earthquakes, all these forced tornadoes made by man-made. Then you got the vaccinations. And if not that, you got the damn nukes. And they're having bunkers. Let me tell you something, man. None of these if they start fucking with the nukes, none of these gangstalkers are gonna be allowed in those damn bunkers. No. No, and I believe somewhere deep down amongst all that bullshit that they were fed over the years, I think that they have the knowledge that yes, that's a guaranteed fact that there's no way in heck they're gonna let them in there. They're not. But let me tell you this much: we gotta be careful because it's gonna get to a point to where it's gonna be us against them. We're gonna overthrow this crap for sure. There's no doubt in my mind about that. Too much is getting out. Too much corruption is happening. And the fact, here's the other part, the fact that they are censoring the truth. That show that all that's doing is exposing who is actually behind this shit. They literally are exposing everything for you to see. From the censoring, YouTube is censoring, Facebook is censoring. Did you know Facebook been stealing people's information who don't even use their platform, who don't even have the stuff installed? Every damn phone you get, you got fucking Facebook on it. You didn't even have to install it. They automatically put it on there. Even if you uninstall it, they are hidden applications of Facebook built onto the phone. You want to know what you got to do to get rid of it? You got to do a root uninstallation just to get that crap off. The only way to get it back on is for you to actually do a factory reset to have the factory data files restalled. They already have Facebook pre-installed as factory-based data files. That is bullshit, man. That is bullshit. Let's let you know that that's not even an option unless you really are techie enough to get it off. Crazy. Man, no. There's no way this stuff is gonna go to pass, but like times are gonna get dangerous, man. Times are definitely gonna get dangerous. But man, I'm pretty sure everybody saw that video of how they were staging that whole that whole riots that was going on. How like the lady just caught the dude. If you seen Jeff C's channel, you must have seen a video of where the lady just caught these assholes staging that car that was parked in front of a freaking nurse, preventing them from moving. They had the American flag with the Trump symbolized letters on there, and then the cameraman is just all over that fucking vehicle. Bam, caught staging shit. Bam, not even just that, caught using mannequins on the fucking news. And here's the issue with that, right? It'd be one thing if they're saying, oh, well, like, we can't have you near the patients because of quarantine, right? That's one thing. The problem with that, cameramen have been way too close to those patients already. That wasn't 6 feet that they were away from those other patients who are real patients. Just saying, they weren't 6 feet away. Not to mention that if it was a training video that they were doing, they would have already mentioned that. And they can't say, oh, well, like they don't have to mention bullshit. A serious event like this, man, they have to mention that. They would have to say that. They would have to. If they didn't, it's theatrics. That's just the bottom line. And anybody who says otherwise, they're just being paid off and they're in on the lie to keep you blind. In the end, they're gonna get screwed. If they continue, they can continue fucking supporting this bullshit if they want, but they're gonna get screwed over too. Let me tell you something, man. When I saw what my cousin did during the Great Louisiana Flood, I knew that mofos like that do not give a damn, and all they're gonna do is, I love my family despite what they've done. I still love my family, but let me tell you something, man. They people like that, no. They do exactly what I knew they were gonna do, and they dive right into their addictions. Whether it's drugs, booze, sex, whatever, they dive head in first into their addictions. The difference with us TIs and them is that they are attempting to program us in a way that they want us to be. You know? And we have our own consciousness that is at a constant threat, that's being constantly attacked. If we're not, if we're not complying with what the fuck they want us to do, oh, zap, oh, radiation, oh, manipulation, oh, sleep deprivation. This is on a 24-hour basis, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, non-stop. Every day we go out, we have to deal with these assholes who are literally called in to stalk us, to photograph us, to videotape us, what have you, to literally gaslight the crap out of us. All sorts of stuff, man. All sorts of stuff. The reason why I was talking about, as I mentioned this again too, the false identity that they try to feed you through peer pressure. They try to feed you that falsified identity because they're basically the fitting in again, quote unquote fitting in. They try to discard your true self to literally replace it with the false self. When they do this is when you become in favor of what they are doing. I honestly believe that due to a lot of people's background, possibly through maybe it was their parents, maybe they just didn't get maybe the love and affection that they needed. Look, even to the gang stalkers, look, I don't hate you, I don't, but that doesn't mean that I approve of what you're doing. And I want everybody to understand the reason why I don't hate them is because you see, that's the devil's influence. I don't hate them because I'm not finna allow their actions to make me invite hate in my life. I refuse. I refuse to be a hateful and cold person. I refuse to be a freaking prodigy that is, a byproduct of their behavior. No. I'm going to speak out and be a truth speaker about what's going on and about everything else that's happening. Any sinful things that happen, I'm always going to repent, but I'm never going to allow them to force me to take that to the extreme. No, I refuse. I refuse. And I have refused this. I literally stood my damn ground and didn't allow this weapon to manipulate me. And let me tell you something, it pissed them off so badly that as soon as I walked out of the local Walmart a while back, the freaking handlers pulled up like out of nowhere. I ain't talking about the gang stalkers. I'm talking about the handlers, the assholes using the weapons. They pulled up out of nowhere, getting all pissed off because I would not assault somebody. They were beaming and radiating the crap out of me and had constant manipulation, triggering, aggravation to try to force me to hurt somebody. Instead, what I really did do was show the person in front of me what they were doing, and I think she was a part of it. She didn't even know what the fuck they were doing. She didn't even know what a freaking EMF meter was. She didn't know it. She didn't know it. Lack of knowledge. And it's funny because these same type of idiots who have this lack of knowledge, and it's not their fault. I'm not gonna blame them for that, man. I'm not gonna blame them for the lack of knowledge they have because look what they were doing. They fucked over history. They fucked over knowledge, and they suppressed knowledge from people they didn't want having it. And as a result, we got to deal with this crap now because the people taking dirty money, taking a temporary get rich free card or a trinket or anything like that just to get by or a little bit ahead, it costs you dearly in the end because look what's happening. Because you taking that little bit of money, look what's happening. It's crazy, It really is crazy. But you know something? If there's one thing I'm grateful for, it's the experiences that I had in this life. And I'm sure many other TIs feel the same way. And it's not about the targeting because you know something? It's because of what I'm going through now that I've been able to meet some of the most wonderful people online. I've been able to meet some really good people out there. And that shows me, that shows them as well as many other people that there are good people out there in the world. There truly is good people out there. But these satanic assholes are out there trying to manipulate the minds of many to try to bend their will over into their perspective, over into their way of life, over into their way of thinking and their way of doing things. Because they don't want to be alone in this world. They don't want us to move on. I honestly believe if freaking reptilians truly do exist, I don't believe they can exist in this world unless God's children are present, which is why they're so desperate to keep us chained down here. If I had to take a guess, that's my hypothesis on the matter. They cannot coexist unless we are present. Man, no. Times like this, I just wish I could just go out somewhere, out on a boat, just go fishing, relax, take a nap without even having to worry about this mess, and just let the day go by, you know. But you can only dream in a world like this. You can only dream, and unfortunately, even that can be manipulated. Now then, a few tips. Everybody, you definitely gonna want to get a USB drive. I would show you, but I guess I could just describe it. I recently got had ordered a vest a couple days ago from Amazon. I already got it. The thing is RFID'd. So this is basically the situation with that, right? They're gonna most likely throw out an EMP blast at some point in time. Don't know when. But here's how you can protect some of you definitely want to get the frequencies from Zacchaeus' channel and many of the ones that I linked. Get those frequencies, put it on a USB drive, and keep that under make yourself a bag like an RFID bag, or better yet, get you know that fabric I was talking about, that copper layered fabric. You can make a bag out of that, but make it 3 or 4 layers thick. Make it 3 or 4 layers thick, okay? That way you can keep a phone in there. You probably want to get like a what do they call that? Like a transformer adapter. What it does is it allows a USB drive to literally plug in your phone. And the benefit of that is that you should keep an extra. This is why I was telling people to get an extra device. Just to keep on handy, one of the older ones, not the newer ones, because that shit's gonna have that technology in there